As the Brittany Griner saga continues over in Russia and the war is raging and everything else is happening, right? People in this great world of the US of A saying, free Brittany Griner. Free her. We need to save her. We need to do this. Guys, she broke the law. The US literally told her not to fly with marijuana. What did she do? She flies with marijuana or a THC pipe or vape or whatever. She had drug paraphernalia on her overseas. People advised her not to do that. And she did it anyways. Then people are saying, oh, it's a war crime against Brittany Griner. Save her. Let's use our American power and bring her home. I get it. We want to bring all Americans home, right? Did you guys forget this is the same Brittany Griner that did not want to play the national anthem before the basketball games because it's racist? This is the same Brittany Griner that pledged to do this, and this because it was racist. It was this, and it was very un-American or not American or whatever. I can't really remember anymore. It doesn't matter. You guys, stop all this bullshit. She broke the law. Let her do her time over there. Yes, it's been since like March. She's been locked up, right? I get it. But at the end of the day, if you or I broke the law, would this even be an issue? Hey, they broke the law. We would be on the TV show Locked Up Abroad, right? And we'd be given some type of crazy ass story of like how we spent time in the Russian prison and all this like other crap. People talk about white privilege and all this other stuff. This woman's got privilege. She has privilege. Bring her home, they say, because she has privilege. The WNBA privilege. This is ridiculous, guys. Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to
Ooh, that baby is hard.
After dark, say that while I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Yo, you know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, still listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're after dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckasha here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com and check out the new and improved blog section, guys. We have 12, 13 writers over there giving you guys amazing content each and every day. We got teams covered. We got leagues covered. We got baseball, football, basketball, everything that you want over there at Man Hour Radio, guys. Check out the blog section. My man Wayne G just dropped a great article about how bad Bill Belichick is drafting the first three rounds. So if you guys want a great article to read, my man Wayne G dropped a one there. Was it last night? So yeah, I mean, guys, get over there, share it, love it, all that good stuff, and become a part of our Man Hour Nation over there. Simply type in your Facebook, your email, and bada bing, bada boom, we can have a conversation in the comments on the blog section. It is great news. So also, guys, we got the new merch out. I put a short up last night. Like their new tumblers are out. The new and improved tumblers with the new logo, with they're black and green. It's actually very sexy. So if you guys like sexy, and I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing sexy back. Yep, it is over there. manhourradio.com. Click on the merch tab, guys. I believe it is June 1st or July 1st. The merch will be going up a couple $, because our supplier is raising their prices because of gas and electricity, cost to make goods, all that crap, all the supply chain issues. So if you guys have ever wanted Man Hour merch, right now is the time to get it. It is the cheapest that it will ever be right now, and I'm actually going to lower the price even more right after the show. So a couple $, just so we can get you guys get some merch out there, looking sexy. So I see some people jumping up in the chat. My mama's in the chat. Hey, mama. Hope you're having a grand time in, I believe they're in New Mexico now. They're on a biking across America. Vroom, vroom. She sent me a picture of gas prices in New Mexico today, or was it today or last night? I can't remember. $6.50 a gallon. It cost her damn near $60 to fill up her bike. So yeah. What? Yeah, but yeah, crazy. So we got some people, other people in chat. We got Drew says, howdy, Buck. What's up, Drew? Glad to see you there, guys. Drew is a member here on the Man Hour Nation. He has simply clicked on the join button. And Drew, we are bringing you some exclusive content starting June, I think. Fantasy football is back, and my man Tori Anderson is back. So he'll be back on the member side of things, giving you guys fantasy football secrets. So if you guys want any fantasy football secrets, because Tori is undefeated in leagues the last 3 years. Wow, right? Him and Wyatt Williams will be bringing fantasy football insiders back. Really, really excited about that. Then we see my man Alpha Rob in there. Says, what's up, Buck? What's up, Alpha Rob? I'm glad you are there. I posted some pictures of your boy Josh Allen in our Trash Talk group. And it was Brittany and Patrick Mahomes holding their baby picture, and it was Josh Allen, the choke artist that he is. So 12 seconds. Patrick Mahomes lasted 13 seconds and made a baby called Josh Allen. So excited about that. So Alpha, check that out. Like over there, man. We'd love to see you over there in the chat Trash Talk groups. Of course, we got some people over on the Facebook side. Facebook user, I cannot see who you are. So if you just approve it and tell me your name, I'd be fantastic to tell you. But what's up? Glad to see you over there. I got a cough. And then Alpha Rob says, she broke the law. She's finding out Russia doesn't think she's special. Exactly. I mean, hell, she's not even special in America, Alpha Rob. Let's just be flat and honest. The only reason why we know who she is because she come out as the fifth openly gay WNBA player. She shaved off her boobs and walks around topless like all the time, and really nobody even knew she was in the WNBA until she got arrested over in Russia, right? So let's just be flat honest. I mean, I don't know. Drew says, you bringing hemorrhoids back? Bro, I am pretty sure I'm hemorrhoid out after having China Garden, Thursday of last week? Yeah, if there's anything in there, it is definitely probably in the Ohio River by now. So definitely do not eat China Garden on a Thursday afternoon when you're trying to get home for the weekend. But hey, I digress from that, guys. But hey, guys, my man Wyatt Williams will be on here in about 40 minutes. We are going to break down the NFC West schedule. Spoiler alert. I have the Arizona Cardinals going 6-11 this season. That is right, 6-11. So spoiler alert for that. But we'll see. We'll talk about it, and we'll explain that coming up here in hour number 2. Of course, we're going to break down the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks as well. We are on, what is that website called? I think it's called, yeah, so it is called playoffpredictor.com. So we will pick all the games, and it will give us all the playoff outputs. And so over the next couple weeks, guys, we'll break down each division. We'll break down the playoffs, and we'll give you guys our Super Bowl picks all before May happens. And Drew says, what? Effing nuts. I'm not nuts, man. Think about this. Arizona Cardinals have the second hardest schedule in the NFL this season behind the Rams. The Rams teams that they played last year had a winning percentage of 500, or it was .564, right? The Arizona Cardinals have a .543, so they're just like, what, 0.2 underneath their record, and they start off with the Chiefs, Raiders, Rams, Panthers, Eagles, Seahawks, Saints, Vikings, Seahawks again, Rams, 49ers. Man, hell, they could start 0-11, Drew, and I would not be surprised. Definitely have them starting out 0-6 without DeAndre Hopkins, but we will get into hour number 2. But coming up right here, guys, right now, wow, my man Wyatt is studying and getting ready for finals this week. Well, not he is. If you guys got any questions, throw them out there. We'll have an open Q&A session here in about 10 minutes here on the Man Hour. So any burning questions that you might have, it is Burning Question Monday. So definitely get us those burning questions that you might have. But I'm going to start today's show off with the top 5 running backs going into the 2022 NFL season. Because over on our Trash Talk groups, I've been sharing some pages and people have saying, "Oh, this person's great. This person's not," and their ranking system is completely flawed, completely stupid. The most asinine sum of ranking systems that I've ever seen in my life. For example, Power Rankings one. I shared a Power Rankings one. This particular person had the New York Football Jets ranked number 13th in the Power Rankings. What? Number 13? Okay. I'll give you guys my power rankings probably Thursday. Like, give me some time to look at the drafts, like really break down the drafts and schedules and like whatnot. And I'll give you my preseason power rankings way too early, right? And of course, times will adjust with injuries and whatnot. So the Jets coming in at 13, that's absolutely crazy and asinine. But I digress from that. The one thing I wanted to address though was I believe it was the same person shared a top NFC quarterback list. And they had Trey Lance at number 8. Trey Lance at number 8. They didn't even have Jimmy G on the list. They had Trey Lance at number 8. Spoiler alert, Trey Lance is still the backup in San Francisco. Jimmy G has led the San Francisco 49ers to the NFC Championship game 2 of the last 3 seasons. And you don't even have him on your list of the best. I mean, I believe it was all 16 teams? Like they had all 16 teams or all 16 starting quarterbacks in there from what it looked like. And they didn't even have Jimmy G on there. They had Trey Lance at number 8. What? So I guess I got to give you guys my NFC and AFC quarterback rankings as well. I did the top 5 for the whole NFL. So we'll do NFC and we'll do AFC as well. We'll do those tomorrow. I'll have time. I'll write them down, get them all worked out. I can guarantee you Trey Lance isn't on there. I can guarantee you that Trey Lance is not on there at all. But I know who is on there, Jimmy G. Definitely a top 3 quarterback in the NFC, so spoiler alert for that. But let's get into the top 5 running backs going into the 2022 NFL season. These are the 5 running backs that I think that will have the most success this season, building on from last season's success. So, number 1, let's start right there at the top, giving you the best running back going into the 2022 NFL season. And look no further than Indianapolis, Indiana, the Indianapolis Colts, Jonathan JT Taylor, JT himself. The guys, he will be the best running back in the NFL this season. He'll be going into his 3rd season. They have a great offensive line. They hopefully have found that quarterback situation and, will excel in the passing game to open up the running game even more. The defense is damn good as well. So Jonathan Taylor, for the Indianapolis Colts, I feel will definitely have the best season in 2022, because let's look at his last 2 seasons here. His rookie year, he had 232 rushing attempts for almost 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, and how many touchdowns did he have? He averaged 7.7 yards a carry. Wow. No, that's not right. That's not right. 5 yards a carry, 5 yards attempt. Okay, I mean still 7 yards is pretty intense, but 5 is pretty damn good too, especially for a rookie. Last season, 332 attempts, 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5.5 yards a carry. So if we add science into our thought process here, he is bound to break 2,000 yards this season. He is bound to get 15, 16 touchdowns. He is bound to rush for 6 yards a carry. Hell, it would not surprise me if he jumps that up one full yard and it gets to 6.5. Jonathan Taylor is going to be a man to be reckoned with this season. If you are a fantasy owner, definitely draft him early and draft him often, because Matt Ryan is definitely going to add to the passing game. They're going to open it up, so therefore, by default facto, adding your science, carry the 2. He's going to get the ball a lot. He is going to get the ball a lot. Now, running back number 2, if my page will load, it is going to be Najee Harris. Najee Harris is a Pittsburgh Steelers running back, obviously from last season, and he was a rookie last season. Last season, he had 307 attempts for 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3.9 yards per carry. However, Big Ben was not himself, right, last season. He was definitely on his last leg. Big Ben was kind of going through the motions at the last part of the season. Now, you have Mitchell Trubisky, you have Kenny Pickett, you have Mason Rudolph like in there. No matter what quarterback they have besides Mason Rudolph, half ahead him like himself, they're going to be able to push the ball down the field a little bit more, I should say. And just like Jonathan Taylor, who I think is going to have the best season this year out of all these running backs, it is going to open up the rushing game for Najee Harris even more. Yes, they do have a pretty damn good backup in Benny Snell as well, but Najee Harris is definitely going to get the bulk of the carries this season. It would not surprise me if he's right around 300 rushing attempts this season. I'm looking for 15, 16, 1,700 yards and even more yards out of the backfield. He is going to be the Christian McCaffrey for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he is going to be healthy. He is going to have a very long career there in Pittsburgh, and they better use and abuse him while he's still young. Try to get the most out of him, because after that fifth year is like up, he is going to be looking at some Le'Veon Bell money when he went to the Jets. I mean, he is going to be that freaking good, and it just, guys, look out. Najee Harris is going to be another guy on a mission 100% this year. So just to recap, the number one top running back going into 2022, I have Jonathan Taylor for the Indianapolis Colts. Number 2, I have Najee Harris for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then coming in at number 3, look no further than the NFC North, the purple and gold, the Minnesota Vikings, and Dalvin Cook. Yes, Dalvin Cook has not rushed over 1,200 yards ever in his career. His first 2 seasons in the NFL, he had 300 yards and 600 yards, respectively, right? Respectively. However, the last 3 seasons, he has averaged about 260 yards, 260 carries per season, and he had 1,100 yards, 1,500 yards, and 1,200 yards, respectively. Last season, a little bit of down because, that whole offense was a debacle anyways. New head coach, Kirk Cousins has already got his deal, so he doesn't have to prove anything. And this is the rhythm of the motion here. Good quarterbacks that are able to push the ball down the field, like Kirk Cousins and JJ, and who else did that? Like on that team, the Vikings have a damn good offense, and if it's able to exploit it, which I think they will, Dalvin Cook is going to eat this season. He will have another 1,600 yard season, looking at about 15, 16 touchdowns on 300 attempts. So do not sleep on Dalvin Cook, because he is going to be flying under the radar all season long. And bada bing, bada boom, he is going to be knocking on that top running back list of the season. So Dalvin Cook, I do have coming in at number 3. So if you guys are catching a theme here, most of these running backs are kind of the featured guy, right? Yes, Jonathan Taylor does have Marlon Mack, right? Mack is coming off that injury. We don't know what he is going to be. Najee Harris does have Benny Snell in the backfield, but once again, a very compliment back, but not a feature back like Tony Pollard is or other places, right? But this number 4 running back does have a great 1-2 punch. It is thunder and lightning. It is yin and yang, right? But I think Nick Chubb is going to have the 4th best year in the running back group going into 2022. Now, Nick Chubb does have that right-hand man in Kareem Hunt. So, with that being said, he will take, 100 to 150 of those carries away from him, but that keeps Nick Chubb that much fresher. When you are tired of getting beat down by Nick Chubb, having to chase Kareem Hunt around, hell, you're going to have to chase Deshaun Watson around. They should have a pretty prolific passing game as well with Amari, right? This Browns team should be pretty damn good. And when you have a quarterback like Deshaun Watson, you guys are catching the theme here, able to push the ball down the field, able to really exploit the defense, Nick Chubb is going to eat. Yes, he will not get 2,000 yards by any means. He will not have 300 carries, but he will have 220, 250 carries, around 1,600 yards. Let's look at his past season here. His rookie year, 2018, 1,000 yards, 192 rushing attempts. 2019, 300 attempts, 1,500 yards. 2020, a little under 200 attempts, just over 1,000 yards. 2021, 225 attempts for 1,300 yards. That's exactly what we can pretty much expect from Nick Chubb. Get the ball and eat and get it filled. He averages over 5 yards a pop. Give Nick the ball, let him eat. Chubb is going to be the fourth-ranked running back going into the 2022 NFL season. Just to recap here, Jonathan Taylor is going to have the best season. Najee Harris will have the second best season. Delvin Cook will come in at number 3. Nick Chubb is going to come in at number 4. And then coming in at number 5, I want you guys to realize that we have not named some of the top running backs in the league that many people think. CMC, right? Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley, Clyde Edwards, right? Those names are not falling on the list. The Adams kid from the Packers, right? None of those names are falling on the list because they are not going to have a good season in 2021 and 2022. You know who else is not going to have a very good season in 2022? King Henry. King Henry is definitely going to fall out of the top 10 in this year's running class as well. But a player that is going to rebound, finally Mike McCarthy is going to start to use him correctly, going to give him the ball, let the man eat, feed him. That's Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott will have the 5th best season in the running back room going into the 2022 NFL season. Dallas Cowboys running back. Zeke had definitely a down year last year. Just had 1,000 yards, 240 carries. Definitely not his worst season. 2020 was the worst, 979 yards. But then previously he had 1,300 yards, 1,400 yards in his rookie season, 1,700 yards for 322 carries. Carries has dramatically gone about down 10 to 15 per season. And this year, I think he is going to break the trend. We are going to break that science mold, and we are going to give Zeke the ball. We are going to feed him. He signed that big contract, and basically, you have to use and abuse Zeke the next couple years. Make him earn that $100 million contract that he had, right? Now, people can say the same thing about Tony Pollard as well. You have Tony Pollard on a rookie deal. Use him and abuse him. Wash him up and let him leave. No. The reason why I say no to that is because you can probably sign Tony Pollard long term for a pretty good deal if you don't use and abuse him right now. Keep him as a complimentary back. Get a 100 yard or a 100 carries, 150 carries this season. Use and abuse Zeke. Give the Zeke the ball 300 times this season. Hell, I'd be happy with 400 times. Give him the ball. Let him eat, because Zeke gets better when he gets in the rhythm of the game. He is much like King Henry. If you watch the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry run the ball, first quarter, second quarter, even most of the third quarter, Derrick Henry isn't very good. He isn't very elective. He isn't very electric. He doesn't really, break those big runs and stiff arm people, throw him on the dirt. When does he do that? The fourth quarter, because he is basically better than everybody else in the fourth quarter because he's better conditioned. He does better when it's time to eat. That's exactly what Zeke does. Look at him back at Ohio State. Yes, I did see a stat where he was clocked at 22 miles an hour. Zeke isn't your speed, I'm going to juke you out, Barry Sanders guy. He has speed and he has power. He is going to lower the shoulder and he's going to put your dick in the dirt. Let Zeke do that 20 to 30 times a game. Use and abuse Zeke Elliott this season. The Dallas Cowboys will win the Super Bowl if they do this, but Zeke will have the 5th best season going into the 2022. So just to recap, I'll go 5-1. At number 5, as best running backs going into the 2022 season, or actually who is going to have the best season, I should say, Zeke at number 5, Nick Chubb at 4, Delvin Cook at number 3, Najee Harris at 2, and Jonathan J.T. Taylor at number 1 for the Indianapolis Colts. So Guys, let me know your top 5 running backs going into the 2022 NFL season. Who do you think is going to have the best season this season? Drew says Zeke needs a old lines better to do that. The Dallas Cowboys still have a top 5 offensive line in the NFL if they can stay healthy this season. They also drafted some offensive line help this year as well, Drew, and they are just going to get better over time. Repetition. What does the old Coach Boone from the Remember the Titans say? Only need 3 plays. It's just like butter. Give it time and it works, right? Or something just like that. So, yeah. Drew also says, I believe Derrick Henry will be a top 10 running back this season. I do believe he will be like at number 9 or number 10, Drew, but I don't really anticipate him being over that because he came off that injury last season. I can't remember what he hurt. Was it his quad or hamstring or something? Like he tore something, I thought. But when we look at Derrick Henry, after he came back from the injury, the Titans were almost scared to use him. They figured out that Ryan Tannehill can pass the ball. They figured out they had a couple other running backs out there that could, somewhat shoulder the load, right? But Derrick Henry will definitely have a quote-unquote down year this year. I'm kind of curious of what his stats ended up being last year. I actually did not look at his stats from last year, so let's pull them up. So Derrick Henry last season still had almost 1,000 yards. He had 219 carries on 937 yards. He only played 8 games, so he was definitely on pace to break that 2,000 mark again. But in 8 games, guys, he had 219 carries. 219 carries on just 8 games. He was on pace for 425 carries in the season. Now he will be 28 this year, Drew. So he was a rookie in 2016. Now I do believe in that. In the old theorem, right, that Alabama running backs takes 3 years to get like really in the groove and like understand the game, right? And that's exactly what happened. Year 4, he got the 1,500 mark, and then obviously 2020 he got the 2,000 mark. But yeah, I mean 219 carries in 8 games, guys. That is rough. The previous year he had almost 400 touches. The previous year before that, he had 303. So since 2018, he has 215 carries, 300 carries, 378 carries, and 219 carries. In his career, in the 6 years that he has been in the league, he has 1,401 rushing attempts. For a running back, guys, I am surprised he can get out of bed in the morning, to be flat out honest. Now, we talk about Tom Brady finding the edge and, tiptoeing and he's going to fall off the cliff, right? And people have been wrong. I could be 100% wrong that Derrick Henry is at the cliff, right? But running backs years, 6 years is about 15 to 16 years in the league. This year will be his final productive year. He will still be a top 10 running back as far as yardage and just the overall threat. Like, you have to keep that extra guy in the box because of the threat of Derrick Henry, really exploiting things and pushing down on the field. But 2023, I am predicting the downfall of Derrick Henry. I think in 2023, guys, we will not see the Derrick Henry that we saw in 2020 or 2019 or even the first 8 games of last season. The Titans have been using and abusing him, and it is you can only ride a whore hard and put her wet so many times before she starts to responding, right? And Derrick Henry has been rode hard and put away wet for the last 3, if not 4 seasons, and it's time to fire back. So with that being said, guys, we are up against the first break here on the Man Hour. We got 30 minutes, about 20 minutes before my man Wyatt comes on here. So for the next 15, 20 minutes, guys, we're going to do burning questions. I have some burning questions here that I've been asked. So if you guys have any burning questions or questions in general pop them in the chat, and we'll go with that. But with that being said, guys, we'll be right back right after this one.
Once I'm home from work and relaxing,
I watch Man Hour while doing dishes.
In bed, hiding from the wife and kids.
what do you do when your husband and kid are obsessed with the Man Hour? You watch it with them.
Watch the Man Hour. Check it out.
Have you ever wanted to go to Vegas?
I give a slight
Gee,
like to Marquette because they're playing on their home court, and Marquette's been taking care of business on the road. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
Every time, though. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour. After dark, like that, why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cole. You know what it is. Want to talk to us about the air right here. I second that.
So, you know that it's us when we talk about sports, giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we get the support. 1 hour too short to listen to all. Your station not dropping no music. Strike like Adidas. Your station not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're out the dark, no LA, we a big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speaks go.
What?
You're watching Man Hour. Hit that like button, baby.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckasha here with the Man Hour. Follow me on the old Twitter machine at manhour_Buck. Coming up here in about 30 minutes, guys. About 20 minutes now. Shoot, it's already 8:40 p.m. East Coast time. Time is flying when you're having fun and partying naked. But we are going to break down the NFC West schedule. That's the Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, and the Seattle Seahawks. There are going to be some upset Red Sea fans because, quite frankly, I have been very hard on them the last couple seasons, and I've been right. I've been right. If you guys remember right, Drew, Alpha Rob, you were here. Mama, you were here too. When the Arizona Cardinals were 11-0, I'm like, hey, guys, the cracks are showing. This team is fundamentally flawed. They're going to be a first-round exit 100%. What happened, guys? They got blown out by the Rams in the first round of the playoffs. Bad baby is what the Rams said. It's exactly what I did. I told you guys. And this year, I'm just as hard on the Rams because they don't have DeAndre Hopkins the first 6 games of the season. They traded for a horrible receiver for a first-round pick in Hollywood Brown. But however, we digress from that. That's coming up here in about 20 minutes, guys. Me and my man Wyatt Williams will be on. Hopefully he'll be on about 9 o'clock East Coast time right here on youtube.com/Man Hour. My man Alpha Rob says, now I know why Henry blew his tire. Yeah. Use and abuse them. Use and abuse them, they said. Like, that's what I did back in college. I used and abused girls, and I never found the one until I started treating them right. I'm just calling a spade right at the end of the day. But hey, I love it when they call me Big Pop. What? If you guys don't know, you know. Now you know. Hardball. Hardball might be one of the most heart-wrenching stories ever. Like you kind of, they definitely foreshadowed like the whole shootings, right, and like whatnot. But yeah, definitely a heart-wrenching story. So one of the burning questions that I got via text message, the text lines are open, guys. It is 812-406-HOUR. That's 812-406-HOUR. Spelled out on the old phone. If you don't know, then I guess you can't text. But this texter says, why in the world don't you have any rookie running backs in your top 5 going into the season? Because you don't know how a rookie running back, you don't know how rookies in general are going to adapt to the NFL game. So anybody that has rookies in their top 5, top 10, hell, even the top 25 rankings going into a season, definitely playing with fool's gold. Never listen to those people whatsoever, because they're 100% wrong. How do you know? Let's flash back to last season. Many people had Trey Lance in their top 10, right? Always going to be a top 10 quarterback in the league, yada, yada, yada. How do you know? He didn't even play 2019 season or 2020 season in college. How do you know? You don't. You are basing everything off of highlight tapes and stats. Shut your damn mouth. So you cannot have rookies in your rankings whatsoever. Now, you can have second-year players. Now you can have rookies in your rankings, after week 2, week 3. Then you can get a very good justification of like, hey, this guy could really be something in the NFL. Let's look at Mac Jones. After 3 or 4 weeks, we're like, damn, Bill Belichick got a steal on. Now I know why they let Cam go, right? Like, we see it. But to put him in your power rankings now is absolutely stupid, absolutely asinine, 100%. So anybody that has them in their rookies, I'm referring to like in their rankings now, do not listen to them. Actually, don't even listen to anybody that's not me, because they're giving you a jaded view. They're always looking on the other side of the roads, and they don't see the potholes. Just like the Arizona Cardinals, right? I was spot on about them. But Drew says, do you think the Chiefs have enough running back depth? So I am pulling up the Kansas City Chiefs roster right now and looking at the running back depth. So obviously that they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, right? They picked up Rojo from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this offseason. Derek Gore, I should say, and Isa Pakako, I don't know who he is. So he is a rookie. They drafted him in the 7th round, 251st pick. So damn near very last pick. So I don't know anything about him. 5'11", 215 pounds from Rutgers. Nothing about him at all. But their number 2 or their top 2 running backs in Rojo and Clyde, hell yeah, that is enough alone, Drew. That right, because we're looking at around the league, 1-2 punch, boom, boom, right? Clyde Edwards, and then Rojo, boom, right there's your 1-2 punch. And they still have don't they still have the guy that won the MVP for him? Where's my trophy? I forget. Damian Williams. Don't they still have him? I thought they still had Damian Williams too. And hell, even Derek Gore. The games that he got in last year, Drew, he was pretty effective. Well, he was probably getting at least 4 yards a pop. Here, let me pull it up here. So yeah, so he had 51 attempts last season for 300 yards at 5.5 yards a pop. So I mean, his rookie campaign was pretty damn good, Drew. So Derek Gore will just improve. Clyde, if he can stay healthy, he is a top 10 running back in the league, I think. Now, the stats will not show that because they do have a stable of running backs, and obviously it's a very pass-happy offense. But, yeah, I mean, they definitely have enough running backs to compete in January. I believe a wise man once said, I believe his name was Luke G. from Luke G. Field Reviews, and he says, how many rushing offenses succeed in January versus passing offenses? And he rattled off some numbers and like whatnot. And historically, teams that rush the ball for quite a bit during the regular season have success in January and February. Now, obviously, you cannot base everything off of stats and history because, recent ties are starting to turn and whatnot. Definitely a very pass-happy league. The Buffalo Bills are going to throw for 10,000 yards this season. The Chiefs are going to throw for 8,000, right? And hell, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers might throw for 37,000. It is going to be crazy pass-happy offenses this season. But yeah, the Chiefs definitely have enough running back depth to compete this season because let's just be honest, they're probably going to only rush the ball about 300 times anyways this season. So yeah, 200, actually probably 150, 175 carries like a piece for Clyde and Ronald Jones. There you go. That is all you need, Drew. Perfect. Next burning question comes in from, why do you hate the Cardinals so much? Do you really want to know that answer to that question? Because I believe the year was 2018. The Arizona Cardinals drafted a quarterback by the name of Josh Rosen. They had a young rookie head coach as well. His name is slipping my mind, but I believe he was a black head coach. The Arizona Cardinals were basically saying, we are going to tank this season because we want Cliff Kingsbury as our coach, and he is going to get his guy, Kyler Murray, in the first overall in the draft, right? So basically, the front office of the Arizona Cardinals never really gave the head coach, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he was a rookie head coach. I believe he's coaching for the 49ers now, if I'm not mistaken. But him and Josh Rosen, they did not give them the time of day. No front office help, no team around him. Hell, not even like a season to really like prepare yourself and go forward, right? It was absolutely ridiculous watching that Arizona Cardinals team that season. And then they traded away Josh Rosen to Miami Dolphins. They fired their head coach. And from that point on, I have told myself the Arizona Cardinals are dead to me 100%. How can you fire a rookie head coach and get rid of a rookie quarterback after one season? Like, it is, yes, I know Cliff Kingsbury was the sexy hot pick and he could get the best out of Kyler Murray and all that, and like all this stuff. Like, I get it, but at the end of the day, you guys literally set your franchise back 2 or 3 full seasons, and you guys haven't won a playoff game since. Like, have you guys ever won a playoff game? Like, let's just be flat honest. I guess I with like Kurt Warner and Hopkins or Fitzgerald. I think you guys won a couple playoff games. I can't remember, to be honest with you. But since you guys tanked that season, fired your rookie head coach, got rid of Josh Rosen, the first overall pick, you guys have done nothing. Kyler Murray, one of the most overrated quarterbacks in all of NFL. Cliff Kingsbury, he is a good coach for the first 2/3 of the season. What does he do for you for the last third? He shits the bed. Did the same thing in Oklahoma, doing the same thing in the NFL. So I just call a spade at the end of the day, and the Arizona Cardinals are just not that good. You guys can be 11-0 all you want. You're still going to shit the bed in the playoffs at the first round exit. You will never win a playoff game or a Super Bowl with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury at the helm. It will not happen. Sorry to tell you guys. Sorry to burst that bubble. It will not happen. Next burning question. The Chiefs suck. Well, that's not really a question now, is it? But let's flash over to the Facebook Trash Talk group, facebook.com/sports trash talk, brought to you by Man Hour Sports. Many people had the Kansas City Chiefs winning or getting last in their division this season. They're putting the Denver Broncos up on this pedestal. They're putting the Raiders up on this pedestal. And the Chargers definitely deserve to be up on that pedestal. They have proven themselves the last couple of years that they do have an elite quarterback and an elite team, and they just got that much better this off season. But the Denver Broncos, guys, stop it. Tell me how the Denver Broncos legitimately got better. yes, you can say that they added a top 10 quarterback in the league in his prime. Yes, you can tell me that they have one of the best receiving cores, young receiving cores, unproven receiving cores in the league. Yes, half of them are in jail now, but yes, at that particular time, yes. But all you Denver Broncos fans, everybody hyping up on this power train, I believe the power rankings had the Denver Broncos at number 3, was completely asinine there, but we digress from that. The Denver Broncos were a quarterback away a year and a half ago. Now, since then, they've lost Jerry Jeudy for who knows how long. He will definitely get suspended for a couple of, for not a season, but a couple games for sure. If he doesn't, the system is flawed and definitely jaded to one side or the other. I mean, obviously, he didn't physically harm the girl by any means from what I read and from what I understand. What I understand is he just locked her cell phone in the car or something. It was like disruption of justice. I can't remember for sure, but he definitely will get suspended for a game or two. Cortland Sutherland is really unproven, really unutilized, right? Von Miller is no longer there. And yeah, Russell Wilson is over the hill. He's not a very good quarterback right now. Now, first 6 games of the season. Oh yeah, Russ is nice. Russ is really nice. Last 10, trash. I mean, he's not Lamar Jackson trash, but he's definitely top 15, 16, 17 range trash, right? Guys, Russell Wilson is not the savior in Denver at all. So pump the brakes with all this second best team in the NFL, best in the AFC West. Shut up with that. Shut up. Dumb. Alpha Rob says the card ruined Rosen's confidence. He had no O-line except for the only player they had was Larry Fitzgerald. Yeah, absolutely right. The Cardinals were probably the worst structured team ever when Josh Rosen was there. I believe it was 2018 when he was drafted, if I'm not mistaken. Since then, he got traded to the Miami Dolphins. I think he started for 2 games there, got benched, got cut, went to the 49ers, was like on their practice squad, went to the Buccaneers, was on their practice squad, ended up getting traded to somebody. Was it back to the 49ers? Like he was on their third string or fourth string there for like a little while when they had everybody and their dog was entered in 2020. Now he's back on the practice squad with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, like I was on the Josh Rosen hype train. Like I thought Josh Rosen was going to be a damn good quarterback in the league. Like, hey, this guy just needs a couple years to really like find himself. You know, like when your balls like start to, you know, pop out that pubic hair and you're exploring, you know, you're like, oh, what does this do? Like, oh, what's that? Right. That's how Josh Rosen was. He just grew his pubes and he's starting to play with himself, starting to understand how the NFL worked. And then poof, there goes the rug. And then you're like, then you literally get caught with your pants down, hand in the pecker, rock hard. And you're like, huh. I think I'm going to be a celibate for the rest of my life, and that's kind of what happened to Josh Rosen. He since then has been celibate. Hopefully, at one point, he does get back into the NFL because I think he'll be a very valuable backup still. I still do have faith in that he'll be a valuable backup. Maybe not with the Buccaneers or because, hell, the Buccaneers got what, Kyle Trask and who else they got? They can't remember who their backup quarterback is right now. I don't know. But yeah, Josh Rosen, I hope for Arizona Cardinals sakes that he goes to someplace like the Seahawks or the Rams or the 49ers and he can whoop that ass twice a year, knock him out of the playoffs first round and win a lot of Super Bowls. Like that's my ultimate goal for Josh Rosen. So I'm going to go buy Madden. I'm going to draft him, or I'm going to trade for him, put him as my starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, trade Jimmy G, trade Trey Lance, trade Debo. Get that dude out of here, that little diva mofo. Get Get my man Byron Pringle, Tyler Lockett, and DK. Whew. Game over. All right, guys. Anyways, last burning question of the day before we head to break. Wyatt should be here in a couple minutes. We're going to break down the NFC West games. If he's not here, we're still going to break it down anyways because I got stuff to talk about the Arizona Cardinals, baby. But the last burning question, where did it go? Let me pull up the old text message, the old Twitter machine. Too many texts. Tomorrow is Taco Tuesday. I know that. Taco Tuesday. Trademark LeBron James. Right? Anyways, I don't know where it went. I'm not going to scroll back through those text messages. But it was, I'm sure it was good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have mentioned it. I don't know. I'm drunk. Totally kidding. But not really. We're back, guys. We're in the Man Hour. NFC West breakdown coming up next. Stay tuned.
What's going on, Belly Up Sports fans? Thanks for tuning in to the Belly Up Sports Podcast Network. We have some really exciting news for several Belly Up Podcast Network shows. The Sports Stove Podcast, the Rough Cut Sportscast, and Here in Puckburg have all been nominated for a sports podcast.
Yeah!
So, head on over to sportspodcastawards.com and make sure to vote for the Sports Stove Podcast for Best College Sports Podcast and Best News and Current Affairs Podcast. Vote for the Rough Cut Sportscast for Best American Football Podcast, and vote for Here in Puckburg for Best Winter Sports Podcast. Again, that website is sportspodcastawards.com. Thanks for being the best part of Belly Up Sports. We are...
I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled around, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win, I'll take a stab. I wanna chase the bag, I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything. The venom in my brain, running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this, I just wanna break these chains. Always destined for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once, that is so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started the outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted, created a legacy off of me just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail. I'll give up everything, daunting life. If I can see my dream, lay things on. 'Cause I'll do anything. Want a reality. I'll give up everything, daunting life. If I can see my dream, lay things on. 'Cause I'll do anything.
Hey gang, it's Commissioner Cooper from TSS Fantasy. We are the fantasy show of the people. That means we give the people what they want. Expert fantasy advice, leading medical and legal analysis, free contests, and innovative games to keep you entertained. Watch us live with the Tiki Live app on the Belly Up Sports channel, subscribe to us on YouTube, or follow us on all social media platforms. Visit TSSFantasy.com today for all the latest updates from the fantasy show of the people. We put the fun in fantasy.
Yeah!
I use
mayo over sour cream, yeah.
Right. That's because you have high cholesterol. Okay. If you drafted Julio Jones,
you got ghosted.
This is amazing. TSS Fantasy is like an orgasm. If I had a cigarette, I'd smoke it. I'm pumped to be here. This is the show of shows.
TSS Fantasy, the fantasy show of the people.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mental.
Man Hour Nation brought to you by Brooks Roofing and Siding. Contact them at 812-868-7663 or online at brooksroofingin.com. Brooks Roofing and Siding, protection you need when nature strikes.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Bukasha here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com. Get those views up, guys. Come on. We need people over there on the website giving me reason to update it even more. Give me a reason to spend an hour a day on it just to tinker with it. Head over there. Join it. Read the blogs. Do it or else. I'm totally kidding. But guys, welcome back to the Man Hour. You can follow me on Twitter at manhour_buck. I'm having a great time over here. Wait for my man Wyatt Williams. Apparently he is chasing a lizard. So when you guys are talking to a 19-year-old and he says he's chasing a lizard in his house, three things come to my mind. He actually is chasing a lizard because they are like Florida, right? So maybe he is actually chasing a lizard, or he's taking a monster poop, or knowing Wyatt, he's playing Fortnite and just lost track of time. What do you guys think? Just let me know in the chat. Is he actually chasing a lizard? Is he taking a poop, or is he playing Fortnite? Because let's just be honest, Wyatt's not getting laid. Like, right? I mean, so yeah, chasing that lizard is definitely out. But anyways, guys, we are live on Belly Up Sports every Monday through Friday, bellyup.tv, also on the Apple and Roku applications on your TV as well. 8 a.m. East Coast time and 3 p.m. East Coast time every Monday through Friday. We're also live right here on the evening show at 8 o'clock East Coast time for anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, just depending on if I'm working or not that particular night. Every Monday through Thursday as well, right here. I'm taking Sundays out because I never know when my wife is going to get home, and Fridays I just need time for me. And once I go back over to the nights, we'll be back on the morning show as well. Morning show does start at 7 a.m. East Coast time right here on YouTube TV or youtube.com/man hour. So guys, definitely subscribe, hit that bell icon, because I try to give you guys the most content out there. Try to give you guys all the clips, live shows, and just me being me, just giving you guys a real life talk here. So Drew says he agrees with Alpha Rob about the Drew Rosen thing. Previously, guys, before we went to break, I was a person out there. It was a text, so I don't know who it came from, but they said that why do I hate the Cardinals? And because they screwed Josh Rosen, Drew Rosen, not the agent, but Josh Rosen, the quarterback. And and Alpha Rob says they ruined his confidence and had no O-line. The only player they had was Larry Fitzgerald. Drew, you're an Arizona Cardinals fan. Did they have the Honey Badger that particular year as well when Josh Rosen was there? I can't remember when Honey Badger went over to Arizona. It had to have been right around there because he was with the Chiefs for the last 3 or 4 seasons. So it had to have been Honey Badger. Probably went over there the same year that Josh Rosen was there. So they're starting to reconstruct the defense, like a little bit, getting Chandler Jones and all those boys and Honey Badger. If I remember correctly, they didn't have a terrible defense. Just the offense was horrible. Anyways, Drew says, I hope he's not playing with himself. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to give yourself a blumpkin, right? if you guys don't know what a blumpkin is where you're taking a poop and you get a blowjob. So yeah, if you like blumpkins, I mean, whatever. I mean, it takes a really strong girl to give you a blumpkin. But anyways, enough with the blumpkin talk and chasing lizards and whatnot. Sorry. So, do you ever just like make a joke and you laugh at yourself and you're like, man, that was really stupid, really funny at the same time, and nobody else is like around? Yeah. That is me right now. Shout out to Bud Light. They should be sponsoring us, but they don't. So if you guys have any connections at Anheuser-Busch, I would love for a Russian company to sponsor an American sports show. I think it would be the most Joe Biden thing to do, like hands down. So yeah, Anheuser-Busch, I know you are not American owned anymore. I believe you're Russian owned. So yeah, sponsor us. I mean, I'll vote for Joe. Anyways, Alpha Rob says he thinks he's taking a dump. Hey, sometimes you cannot rush the glory of taking a massive and like nice poop, right? Like everything just flowing, right? And you get caught up on TikTok. Yeah. Drew says it's Belgium, not Russia. Whatever. They're all Russians if they're not Americans. Now, what Belgium is Germany, isn't it? Or is it Belgium an actual country? I don't know. I'm no scientist, but I play a doctor on TV. Anyways, guys, back to sports talk. NFC West schedule breakdown. We're going to start with the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, the Arizona Cardinals did pretty well last season, right? They started out 11-0, finished the season 12-5. First round playoff exit to the LA Rams. So obviously by default facto, by having a very successful season last season, they get a number one ranked schedule going into the 2022 NFL season. With that being said, they do have the second hardest schedule per win-loss ratio of teams from last season. They have a winning percentage of .543, so over 500. So yeah, I mean, definitely a very, very tough schedule. And when we look at it on the surface, it is a very, very tough schedule. They do play the AFC West. They play the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Chargers all this season, and the Broncos as well. So the AFC West is obviously probably one of the hardest divisions in football, if not the hardest, but behind the NFC West. But I have the Arizona Cardinals going 6-11 this season, just 1-5 in the division. I don't have any faith in this Arizona Cardinal team whatsoever. I think they're going to be a very, very down year, and missing DeAndre Hopkins the first 6 games of the season is definitely going to hurt them, because let's look at their first 6 games of the season. First game, they are at home. We'll give them that, but they welcome the Kansas City Chiefs into town. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs historically are not very good week 1, week 2, or week 3, but maybe the times have turned. Maybe Patrick Mahomes has finally, actually prepared himself this offseason, unlike last offseason when he was just banging his baby mama, right, and dealing with the 1-year-old and like all that stuff. Maybe he's prepared. But they start the season off with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a loss. Then they travel to Vegas. That's a loss. And then that home versus the Rams. That's a loss. Then they travel across the world. Not really across the world, but to Carolina to take on the Panthers. That's a loss. Then they welcome the Philadelphia Eagles into town. That's a loss as well. This is going to be a very sneaky, very, very sneaky good Philadelphia Eagles team. I have not break down their schedule yet, but I could anticipate them getting 10 to 11 wins this season. The Eagles are going to be a very, very good team, and that is exactly the game that I have circled first on the list. Like, this is a game that could make or break the Arizona Cardinals season. So I do have them starting the season 0-4, and with a loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, I have them going 0-5 to start the season. This is a game that is a very pivotal point for them in the season, because we're going to see what the Arizona Cardinals are made of, like, at this particular point, because next week they travel to Seattle to take on a Seahawks team that is supposed to be down, right? a Seahawks team that is supposed to be tanking and drafting the next quarterback in the first overall pick for next season. They still got DK Metcalf, still got Tyler Lockett, and they still have a very competitive quarterback in Geno Smith and or Drew Lock, depending who starts. That's a loss at loss as well. Guys, I had the Arizona Cardinals starting the season 0-6. 0-6. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be such a huge miss. Hollywood Brown is not going to be anywhere close to what DeAndre Hopkins is. Yes, I know DeAndre Hopkins only had like 500 yards receiving last season, but he also missed like 7 games. So he was still on pace to get over 1,000 yards, right? But he is going to be such a huge loss for the Arizona Cardinals his first six games of the season for putting the needle in his butt. So his first game back will be week 7 on a Thursday night game versus the New Orleans Saints, a New Orleans Saints team that could also be sneakily good if Drew Brees comes back. Look out, right? I mean, shit. Like we all heard the news, like he is hinting about, oh, maybe I'll make a comeback, right? But yeah, but I do have the Arizona Cardinals getting their first win of the season come week 7 over the New Orleans Saints. Then they travel to Minnesota, and they'll beat the purple and gold. They'll beat Skull Nation. Then week 9, if they win this game versus the Seahawks, that'll be 3 in a row. It's called a winning streak. Does it happen? No. Absolutely not. The Arizona Cardinals do not beat the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Minnesota Vikings are going to be a damn good team. They're probably going to win the NFC North. Let's just be flat out honest. They're not going to beat the Vikings. So they are literally what? They are 2-6 going into a week 9 game when they're back at home taking on the Seahawks. The same Seahawks team that beat them earlier in week 6. A couple games later, a month later, bada bing, bada boom, the Seahawks do it again. Yeah, God, this is rough for the Arizona Cardinals this year. And then they lose the week 10 matchup versus the Rams as well. So we're looking at them at 2-8 going into week 11. 2 weeks before the bye week. The bye week cannot come soon enough. But the tables start to turn for the Arizona Cardinals come week 11. San Francisco 49ers come into town. They whoop that ass. They beat them down. 49ers fans saying, put Trey Lance in. Like, no, we don't want to play Trey Lance. Jimmy G is doing so good. Yada, yada, yada. Chargers come into town. They beat the Chargers as well. Bye week is week 13. Week 14, the Patriots come to town. 3rd home game in 4 weeks here, counting the bye. Beat the Patriots as well. The Cardinals have won 3 games in a row over the 49ers, Chargers, and Patriots. I like it. I like it a lot, right? That puts them at 5-8 at this particular time. Week 15, they travel to Mile High Stadium to take on the Broncos. That is a loss. Whether, like, I don't care how good or how bad the Broncos are going to be, playing at Mile High is a man's game. I mean, for whatever reason, teams that travel to Mile High just do not do well. Kansas City Chiefs, Raiders, it doesn't matter who you are. You can be the Buccaneers. You are going to have problem with the elements there at Mile High Stadium. Week 15 is probably going to be cold, might be snowing, elevation, yada, yada, yada. You go from sea level to above a Mile High. It is rough. Now, week 16, the Buccaneers come into Arizona. They do get that win, upset win. Week 17, travel to Atlanta. Cross the country from West Coast to East Coast. 1 o'clock games are rough. Rough for the West Coast team. Falcons win that game. Week 18, they're like, at this time, they're like, man, can the season get done over enough? 49ers are probably playing for a playoff spot like at this time. For the 49ers beat them. So in 2022, I do have the Arizona Cardinals not doing too hot, going 6-11, 1-5 in the division. Their wins are going to come over the New Orleans Saints, Minnesota Vikings, the 49ers, Week 11, Chargers, the Patriots, Buccaneers, and the Patriots. So yeah, Arizona Cardinals fans, not very good. So. Guys, let me know what you think the Arizona Cardinals are going to be this season. Drew says Drew Brees is not coming back. We will see. We'll see. We'll see. Next up in the division, guys, we are going to break down the LA Rams here. As soon as it loads. There we go. So the LA Rams obviously are Super Bowl champions, right? And with the Super Bowl champions, you get a Super Bowl championship strength schedule. The Rams do have the hardest, that's right, the hardest games this year, the 2022 season, just in front of the Arizona Cardinals. They open up Thursday Night Football, taking on Alpha Rob's Buffalo Bills. Give me the Rams in that one. I like the Rams to really shut down the Josh Allen show, right? The Rams are going to come in hot. They're probably getting their Super Bowl rings. Yada. So, but with that being said, week 2 they do welcome the Atlanta Falcons into town, and they're hungover a little bit. They had a big win over the Buffalo Bills. They got the Super Bowl rings, and the Medley rookie quarterback in Desmond Ridder and the Atlanta Falcons. They don't have Calvin Ridley. All they have is Kyle Pitts. The Falcons win this game. The Falcons upset the Rams week number 2. Obviously, I had the Rams winning week 3 over the Cardinals. Week 4 this is a great game. Week 4 is a Monday night game. The Rams travel to San Francisco. I got the 49ers winning this game here. This game is circled on my schedule to watch 100%. I'm going to watch this game 3 or 4 times. I'm going to put it on loop and just make sure I catch everything in this game, because there's going to be so much happening in this game that you cannot just drink beer and actually just enjoy the game. You're going to have to sit down and watch it. You're going to have to analyze this game. This is a make or break point for both of these teams. If one of these teams get blown out, it could change the trajectory of the whole season, right? So with that being said, I do have the 49ers winning this game, and then I have the Rams dropping their next 2 games versus the Cowboys and the Panthers, because they're still hung over from, man, we just got thumped by a division team. So bye week is week number 7, and they're kind of licking their wounds going into the bye week. They're going back to the playbook. They're like, man, what just happened? They are 2-4 going into the bye week, right? But this is when things start to turn around for the Rams. Coming off the bye week, Sunday night games, they thumped the 49ers. It is not even close. Week number 9, they thumped the Buccaneers. Yes, they're traveling to Tampa Bay. I believe it is a 1:00 game as well. That doesn't matter. Matthew Stafford and the Rams beat down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No question in my mind. Obviously, week 10, I had them beating the Cardinals. Week 11, they're beating the Saints. And week 12 here, it is the next matchup. They're traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Shut your mouth when I'm trying to talk, boy. I'm just messing with you. But anyways, week 12, the Rams travel to the Kansas City Chiefs. This is another game that I have circled on my roster. This is a game that it is a very pivotal game for both teams here. This is a game where we don't know who is going to come or go, and quite frankly, the Rams. This is a must-win for the Rams. They're kind of on a 4-game winning streak. Like at this point, they're 6-4 on the season, but nobody's going to go into Arrowhead this year and win at all. The Chiefs win this game here. Then they get wins over the Seahawks, Raiders. Monday night game, week 15, Packers versus the Rams. They are going into Lambeau Field. Packers aren't very good on Monday night, Wyatt. I'm just going to throw it out there. They're not very good on Monday night. But give me the Packers on Monday night. They are coming off a bye week there. Then the Rams finish on a 3-game winning streak to end out the season with wins over the Broncos, Chargers, and Seahawks, giving them a 11-6 record. So 11-6 record for the Rams for this season. Wyatt, welcome to the show, my man. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I just had what could be one of the craziest days of my life. just happened. So I had class today. Then after class, I had to work on. I've got a final I have to do by Wednesday. So I started writing the script for that and getting everything together for that. And when I do broadcast writing and all that stuff, I like to write it out and then look at it several times before I go. I like to, read it several times, change things, make it better and all that stuff. Because if you just sit down in one setting and do it, it's just like, it won't be as good if you take more time to look over it and all that. So I like doing that.
Wait, what is a script? I've never read a script. I'm totally kidding.
So yeah, so I get all that stuff together, and then I promised Nikki we would go to this park today, which it was really cool. So we went to that, and we saw alligators there and all this stuff. And so I did my project and all that stuff as I was there with Nikki walking around and stuff. And then when we get back here, I go in here ready to go by 9, and Nikki goes into the bedroom, and I hear a loud scream, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I walk in there, and this is the beauty of living in Florida. This is the part they don't tell you about. There's a 6-inch lizard on our wall in our bedroom. I'm like, oh, awesome. And this thing is fast with a capital F, like freaky fast. Jimmy John's freaky fast. So I get a Tupperware bowl, and I chase this thing for a while, and I can't get it. And basically, it ended up running into the windowsill hole that it came in, and into like the wall. There's like a little crease between the windowsill and the wall, and I guess it runs in and out through that. So I'm now going to caulk that tomorrow to make sure that this never happens again. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It was pretty crazy.
So Wyatt, we actually have a poll going on Facebook here. Because you told me that you were chasing a lizard, and we have 3 choices here. 1 is you were actually chasing a lizard. 2, you were taking a dump. And 3, you're playing with yourself. And playing with yourself is overwhelming, winning the poll there. But anyways, we are breaking down the NFC West. I have already broken down the Arizona Cardinals. I had them going 6-11 on the season. Wyatt, what do you have the Cardinals going?
The Cardinals, I have them at about 11-5. I just realized I messed this up. I don't know why. I thought you said AFC West.
Oh.
So I prepared the AFC West, and when I got in, you were talking about the Chiefs, so I was like, oh, okay, good. And then now I'm realizing it is NFC West. But with that being said, the Rams, correct?
Yeah.
Who'd you say?
Yeah. So
the Rams.
I had the Rams going 11-6, and I actually had the Rams beating the Buffalo Bills the opening game of the NFL season. And my man Alpha Rob says, "Not happening, Buck. Von Miller's going to hunt down Stafford." Whatever. Get out of here with that.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm excited to see. That's a really good way to start out the season. Bills, Rams. Wow, I'm looking at their schedule. They got a really tough schedule right out the gate.
It is the hardest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. They play the Bills, then they play the Falcons, who the Falcons, while they're not an incredible team, they're nothing to sneeze at. They're, a medium level team, I think. Then they play the Cardinals, a division rival. Then the Niners, last year's almost NFC champions. And then they play the Cowboys, and then they play the Panthers, and we have no clue if they're going to be really good or really bad. Then they play the Niners again. Then Tom Brady. Then the Oh my gosh, they are just getting punched week after week after week. So yeah, with that being said, oh man, and they have the Chiefs too. This schedule's ridiculous. The Chargers, the Broncos, the Raiders. They play the entire AFC West. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm going to say that's going to be tough to escape this with 13 wins. I mean, they're capable of winning 13 games. They're Super Bowl champions last year. So we know that. I mean, oh my gosh. That's tough though. They're going to win a lot of those games though. I will say that. So I'll give them a 12-5. They go 12-5.
So you have them going 12-5. I had them going 11-6. One of the key games that I have circled for them Is this week 4 matchup, Wyatt? And just like what I was saying right before you jumped on, is this week 4 matchup Monday night when they travel to Levi Stadium to take on the San Francisco 49ers? This is a very pivotal point in their season. Like, if they get thumped by the 49ers, which I think they will do, they will lose to the Cowboys and they'll lose to the Panthers going into their bye week at just 2-4. I mean, definitely not a way a Super Bowl champions want to start their season off, right?
There's a realistic chance right now. I'm looking at the schedule. There is a realistic chance that last year's Super Bowl champions, looking at the schedule right now, could actually start off the season 1-7. Like, there's a realistic chance if like everything went horrible for them. The Bills are a really good team. The Cardinals are a really good team. The Niners are a really good team. The Cowboys are a good team. The Panthers are an okay team, a little above average. The Niners, again, are a really good team. The Buccaneers are a Super Bowl contender. The Cardinals, again, are a good team. So, like, there's an actual shot that they start this out with, in the first half of the season, out of their first 8 games, they could actually only win like 4 of those. That's a real possibility for a Super Bowl champion. I don't think it happens. I think they still come out of that about 6-2. I mean, let's see. They play Buffalo. I think I do agree with you. I think Buffalo comes out strong this year. I think that the Rams are satisfied. They just won a Super Bowl. So I think the Bills, who are hungry, and I mean, they're going to be hungry this year. So I'll take Bills week 1 there. They beat the Falcons. They'll beat the Cardinals. That is interesting. At Niners. That's a tough place to play. I'll give them 3-1 there. I'll give them 3-1. Say they beat the Cowboys, beat the Panthers, 5-1, lose to the Niners at home. I'll give them a weird loss because they always have weird losses. They had a lot of weird losses at SoFi last year.
Yeah.
So that's that second loss. I'll say they beat Brady in Tampa. Then they beat the Cardinals at home. Yeah. So I say out of those first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have them at like 8-2 for the first 10 games.
All right, so Drew wants to hear your thoughts on the Arizona Cardinals. I have them going 6-11, starting 0-6 to start the season, if not 0-7. What are your thoughts about the Arizona Cardinals? What do you think the record is going to be, and are they going to be just as bad as I think they're going to be?
And their first game here is the Panthers, correct?
Their first game is versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and then they play the Panthers week number 2.
Why does my thing look all weird? I have that says, for some weird reason, my laptop right now, I don't know why, says they play the Ravens, Chiefs, Raiders, and Rams in the preseason.
Yeah, that's preseason. So
okay, then they start against.
So week, let me flash over. But like week 1, the Kansas City Chiefs are traveling, to Arizona. Week 2, I believe they are playing the Panthers. As it loads here, because I was on the Seahawks, ready to move forward here. Give me 1 second. So yeah, week 1 they play the Chiefs. Or sorry, week 2 they play the Raiders. They travel to Vegas. Week 3 they play the Rams. Week 4 they play the Panthers. Week 5 they play the Eagles. 6 Seahawks, Saints, Vikings.
Okay,
Seahawks.
okay. So it's Chiefs, Raiders, Rams, Panthers, and then on, right?
Yeah, Eagles. Yep.
Okay, so starting off week 1, they play the Chiefs. I'll take Chiefs in that one. Even though they lost Tyreek Hill, they still have Travis Kelce. They just got Sky Moore. They've got Patrick Mahomes. They've got Juju Smith-Schuster. They replaced Tyrann Mathieu with Justin Reed on defense. So this is still a Super Bowl caliber team. Then they play the Raiders, and the Raiders are going to start out hot, I think, because a lot of people are underestimating how good this connection of Derek Carr and Devontae Adams is going to be. I think it's going to be a hit early because they've already built that chemistry. They know each other. So I think they start out 0-2 right there. Then they play the Rams. Oh, my gosh. Okay, yeah, I'll take the Rams there. I think they start out 0-3. Then they beat the Panthers 1-3.
Whoa, hang on, pause. So they are traveling to Carolina, and historically, when a West Coast team travels to the East Coast and plays the 1 o'clock game, they have a losing percentage of over 650. So
it's a 4 o'clock game.
Is it a 4 o'clock game? Okay, my fault. Still,
No,
they're going to lose. They're going to lose.
No, they're not going to go 0-3 to start the season. They're at least going to win that game.
You're right. They're going to go 0-6.
Then they'll beat the Eagles. They'll beat the Eagles. They'll be 2-3. Then they'll beat Seattle and be 3-3, and they'll be right on track after that. Then they'll beat the Saints 4-3. Then they'll beat the Vikings 5-3. They play Seattle again. That's 6-3. I mean, pretty much both Seattle games are a given. They're going to win that. So 6-3. Then they play the Cardinals. So 6-4 through the first 10 games. Then they got the Niners. I think they lose that one. They beat the Chargers. They'll beat the Pats. Lose to the Broncos. I don't think here's my hot take. I don't think that Russell Wilson will lose to any NFC West team next year. I really don't. Because he's always dominated that division and like when he had a good team, and he has a good team now.
And they're at home.
And they're at home too. Yeah. So and the only one that I'm pretty sure the only one he doesn't have at home is the Seattle one. And that's where he plays week 1.
Yeah.
His first game not as a Seattle Seahawk.
That is a Monday night. That's a Monday night game. Broncos come to. Oh yeah, so the Broncos come to Seattle.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
No, you're good. And so that's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll be watching that. But then they beat. I think they lose to the Broncos. Have a crazy upset against the Buccaneers because Tom Brady always has that one weird loss right before the playoffs, and everybody's like, "Oh, see, this is the year. This is the year we see the dip, and Tom's not Tom anymore. This is it." And that's what sparks him to get pissed off and get motivated again, and he'll end up winning another Super Bowl or going to the NFC Championship or something. Then they beat the Falcons and then the Niners. So what's that? That's like 11-5, 10-6, something like that. So I got them at 11-5, 10-6. I mean, everybody except for the Seahawks is going to have double-digit wins in this division, I think.
Really?
I really do. I think so.
Yeah, so let's go on and move to the Seahawks here. So obviously the Seahawks still have DK, still have Tyler Lockett, but the defense is starting to get aged, starting to get wore out. Their quarterback's kind of up in the air. So they do have the 16th hardest schedule going into this NFL season here. And looking at their record or their schedule right off the bat, Monday night game, the Denver Broncos do come into town. And I think Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos are not going to get a very good warm feeling when they come into Seattle. The Seahawks walk all over them that week 1 game. And
you are crazy.
So why I think that the Seattle Seahawks are going to be a sneaky good bad team, if that makes sense. You know, I do have them finishing.
They don't have Russ.
No, it is because they are still a good team, but their record is not going to really show their record in the end. So I had them going 7-10 with like wins over the Broncos week 1, win over the Falcons week 3, wins over the Arizona Cardinals week 6. They beat the Giants week 8, and then they get on a little bit of a win streak here. So they beat the Giants, they beat the Cardinals again, and then they beat the Panthers, 49ers week 15, and I actually had them beating the Chiefs week 16 as well, giving them that 7-10 record moving forward. But if Geno Smith is a starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, they might be a 10-7 team, because I have faith in Geno Smith will kind of have that it factor, but I think Drew Lock is going to win the starting job, giving them a 7-10 record moving forward. What are your thoughts on their season?
I think you're completely wrong. Completely wrong on that, Buck. Come on, man. You cannot believe that they're a 10-win team.
No. I had them 7-10. 7-win team.
Oh, okay. That's still a little too high for me. I just don't. The quarterback position is so important in the NFL. Like it's ridiculously important. It will literally give you the difference between a average or below quarterback and a average or above quarterback. The difference in that is like 4 or 5 games, like legitimately 4 or 5, because it's everything, like everything that's important to your offense and really your team is centered around your quarterback. The entire offense is built around him. So if your quarterback is trash or below average, it's not going to work out. So automatically, Russ is not losing in his payback game. I will be beyond shocked if Russ lost to the Seattle Seahawks in his first game at home. I think if they played at Mile High for the first game, I would then say probably there's a better chance that the Seahawks win that game because he's not used to it. But literally his first game ever, not as a Seahawk, is in the place where he's played all of his NFL games since like 2012, 2013. So like he is not going to lose there. So right off the bat, bang, I think that the Seahawks lose to the Broncos. Then in week 2, the Niners are a way better team. Bang, that's 0-2. Then they play the Falcons. This could be a decent game, but still, I think the Falcons are better than what people give them. Bang, that's 0-3. Let's see here. Lions. I think the Lions are going to be a better team than what people are giving them credit for this year. I'll actually jump on the Michael Buckheister last year bandwagon of the Lions. And bang, that's 0-4. Then they play the Saints. James Winston is trash. James Winston finds a way to fumble the bag in that one. I'll give them a 1 win there. They're 1-4. Then they play the Cardinals, loss. Chargers, loss. Giants, win. That's 2 wins. Cardinals, loss. Buccaneers, loss. Raiders, loss. Rams, loss. Panthers, I'll give them a 3rd win there. Niners, loss. Chiefs, definitely a loss. Jets, I'll give them I'll keep them 3. I think the Jets are better than what people give them credit for as well. Then the Rams, loss. Yeah, they win 3 games next year. 4, 5 at the most. 5 games at the absolute most. 0 games at the least. This is a bad team, I think.
So you have them going 3-14. So Wyatt, let me ask you a question. How hard is it to say hike and turn the ball off and hand it off to Chris Carson?
Oh my.
How hard is it to say hike and turn right and hand off to Rashad Penny? How hard is it to throw the ball up as high as you can, as far as you can, and let a 6'6" receiver, 300 pounds that runs like 25 mile an hour, DK Metcalf, go get the ball? Not that hard, is it? Like Wyatt?
Oh man!
I mean,
you forgot Kenneth Walker too, their new running back.
Yeah, which
Michigan State.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, 3 solid running backs, 2 great receivers in Tyler Lockett and DK, a damn good tight end as well, and the defense isn't.
Oh, good. Sorry.
And the defense isn't going to be anything to sneeze at, right? I mean, they're still going to be a top 12 defense in the league. All you got to do is put up.
They lost. That's what I was about to say. I wasn't going to cut you off, but now I have to. Bobby Wagner, they lost their field general. They lost the heart and soul of that defense.
You are right. They lost the soul of that defense because he is way over the hill and going to be way overpriced. They are saving so much money for that guy. Jamal Adams is that heart and soul of the defense.
Jamal Adams has like 2 interceptions in his entire career.
It doesn't matter. Jamal Adams led the Seattle Seahawks defense in tackling the first 10 or 11 weeks as a safety. Obviously, Bobby Wagner wasn't doing his freaking job. If you're letting a safety get all those damn tackles, get Bobby Wagner out of there. Like, they are saving so much money. They're going to be so much better just like without him and his egotistical ways. I mean, I'm a linebacker. I played linebacker. I played strong safety. We have freaking egos. We're like, hey, we're better than everybody else. And Bobby Wagner, you should have been like Patrick Wilson and retired a couple years ago. I'm just gonna call a spade at the end of the day. But Wyatt, there is definitely a quarterback controversy that is going to be happening in Seattle between Drew Lock and Geno Smith. But I want to give you a wild horse. Do you remember last season when Jacob Eason got drafted by the Indianapolis Colts? And I said, hey, this guy could be a franchise quarterback. Now he is with the Seattle Seahawks, and Jacob Easton, if he gets a chance in Seattle, This could be a match made in heaven. Jacob Eason, a big, strong arm quarterback, DK that can run like 30 miles an hour with a solid running back core. I mean, 7 wins is not a reach at all, Wyatt. Who do you think is going to win the quarterback?
Washington boy. I will give him that.
What's that?
Jacob Eason is a Washington boy. He's like the all-time leading passer in the state of Washington, like for high school and for college. For like any of the colleges there too. When he played at Washington, he was like the #1 quarterback there.
That's actually a crazy fact. So give me this crazy fact, Wyatt. Who is going to start for the Seahawks at the quarterback?
Gosh,
Geno Smith, Drew Lock, or Jacob Easton
for week 1?
Yeah, week 1.
Geno Smith. He's been there.
Geno Smith, and you're sticking to it, huh?
Yeah, I don't think he's a starter all year. I think that Drew Lock gets a couple of touches. I would be really surprised if Drew Lock didn't get any touches at all because that's a second-round quarterback from 2 years ago. So like you got to at least give him a shot. And he could have been a first-rounder. His Missouri tapes are really good.
He is.
So
yeah. 100%.
He could have been a first-rounder, late first-rounder. So I think by at least week 8, unless if Geno Smith just picks up the reins and starts whipping the mule and the wagon runs. I mean, if the wagon runs, you got your quarterback. If Geno Smith gets at the helm and they start winning games, then he's not going anywhere.
Right.
But I'm thinking that probably doesn't happen. So Drew Lock comes in by week 8, and if Drew Lock fumbles the bag, maybe Eason gets a shot at the end of the season just for them to see like, oh, kind of like a you just throw him in at the end of the year, see how he does. Oh, he played 3 games really well. So now we know, we could possibly draft a quarterback and have him, learn behind this guy, A, or B, we could trade him off to get something. So I don't know. I think the Seattle Seahawks have 2 or 3 quarterbacks next year.
Yeah, you are absolutely 100% wrong. They have 1 quarterback next year, and he was a former first round pick. Wasn't he the second quarterback taken off the draft that particular year? Baker Mayfield, baby. Baker Mayfield to Seattle. Week.
Hold on. He was pick 1, round 1, pick 1.
I know. I was testing you.
We can't skip. No, I know we can't skip on the Browns' failures though. We have to.
It wasn't a failure. The Browns just shit the bed on this, and they're letting a future Hall of Famer walk for nothing and go to Seattle and lead this team to 7 wins, baby. No. If Baker Mayfield is a starter for Seattle Seahawks week 1, 10 wins, Wyatt. 10 wins and playoff berth.
I'll tell you what, if Baker Mayfield is a starter for the Seattle Seahawks come week 1, I'll give him 9 wins.
Okay.
I would. Because I think Baker is a capable starting quarterback in the league. I think last year he had a really bad issue with, his shoulder was hurt. So I'll give you that. I'll give you that they win at least 9 or 10 games if he plays.
All righty. So moving on to the next team here, the final team, Wyatt, in the NFC West schedule breakdown, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. And my man, JBG, will be leading the quarterback round all 17 games this season. Get that Trey Lance crap out of here. Number 8 quarterback. Whatever, you guys are dumb. Jimmy G is leading the San Francisco 49ers to another very productive season. So with that being said, week number 1, they do travel to Chicago. I do have the Chicago Bears winning this game. Brandon Combs will be over here pumping his chest. Yeah, Justin Fields is the man, yada, yada, yada. But calm down, Chicago Bear fans. You guys are going to be bad. Week number 3, they lose to Mile High. They lose to the Broncos. But a game, a very pivotal game that I have circled is Week 13. Week 13, the Miami Dolphins come into town and they play the San Francisco 49ers. Why is this game pivotal? It is because like this is kind of the game. It's like, are you going to be above 500 game or are you going to be below 500 game? And I had the Miami Dolphins beating the San Francisco 49ers this particular game and putting them under that 500 mark. And this is the first losing season that Jimmy G will have as a San Francisco 49er being 100% healthy. I do have the San Francisco 49ers going 8-9 this season, 3-3 in the division. And that week 13 is a very must-watch game because it is going to be a make-or-break season for them. Now, if they win that game, I could see them going on a little bit of a win streak there. I mean, they do have the Buccaneers coming into town. It's very, very tough to play at Levi's Stadium there. Then they travel to Seattle. They have the Commanders coming into town. Then they travel to Vegas, and they have Arizona to end up the season. If they beat Miami, I could see them winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row and making a playoff push at 10-7, 9-8. But I do have them going 8-9 this season. Why? How do you have the 49ers going?
The former almost in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
49ers. You actually have them. What did you say their record was going to be?
8-9. Losing record.
Oh,
they're going to have a almost Super Bowl hangover again.
Week 1, they beat the Bears. Week 2, they beat the Seahawks. Week 3, they lose to the Broncos. Week 4, they play the Rams. That's tough.
Don't tell me you had them start season 6-0. Don't tell me that.
No. I had them losing to the Broncos in week 3.
Okay.
So they lose to the Rams. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Falcons. Lose to the Chiefs. Beat the Rams. Beat the Chargers. Beat the Cardinals. Beat the Saints. Beat the Dolphins. Lose to the Bucks. Beat the Seahawks. Beat Washington. Lose to the Raiders. Lose to the Cardinals. I have them as an 11 and 16.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
11 and 6. There's 3 good teams in this division, and if Seattle can grab a quarterback before this starts, they can grab Baker Mayfield. This is the one place I will agree with you on the Baker Mayfield thing, even though you've told me that every team in the NFL, I think, needs Baker Mayfield, including the Kansas City Chiefs at one point, which I couldn't believe you said.
Backup, yeah.
But you were joking, I know that. But
backup, no.
If Seattle can snag him before the season starts, I think they'll be a good team. My sock is messing up. I hate it. There's like a little hole in it in the top, and my toe keeps on coming out of it. It's annoying the crap out of me.
So you have a little wiener poking out of the top of your thing. So you were chasing the lizard, huh?
Yeah.
So
I was chasing a lizard. Believe me.
Okay, so breaking down the NFC West here, guys. If you guys have missed anything, I will upload the clips tomorrow morning, and you can just check out each team that like you want. So I actually had the Rams winning this division. Wyatt at 11-5. I had the 49ers coming in second at 8-9. The Seahawks coming in at in third place at 7-10. And then I have the Cardinals coming in at last place at 6-11. Who do you think is winning the division?
That division is tough because there's 3 teams, and if, like I said, if Seattle can get a quarterback, then there's 4 teams that could possibly win it. So, with that being said, give me the Rams. Give me the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the Rams division to lose. Because let's be honest, the only person that they lost from last year's team was obviously Von Miller, which they picked up week 12, right? Which I don't think
they replaced him. They got Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
So they went away from the edge, rusher, and got a field general who's going to stand in the middle of the field and just be awesome. So
what you're saying is they let go of one 34-year-old defensive player to pick up another 34-year-old defensive player.
They let go of one influential veteran to sign another influential veteran. There you go.
Okay. That are both going to be playing like 50% of the snaps this season. But okay, whatever. No, but yeah. So they lost Von Miller, which he was pretty effective of helping Aaron Donald take away double teams, right? But then they also lost Odell Beckham Jr. that caught 3 catches in the Super Bowl. Granted, he did get hurt, but not a very big loss either. I mean, like, the Rams are damn good, Wyatt. Matthew Stafford is going to have a great season, another great season. Cooper Kupp is probably going to get double-teamed a lot. So they who's their second receiver that they got?
Why am I forgetting this right now? They lost Woods.
Yeah, but they
got Odell. No, they haven't re-signed Odell. Hold on, they got somebody. Why am I forgetting this?
Odell Beckham Jr. is going to the Packers, boy.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. With Allen Robinson, they picked up Allen Robinson from the Bears.
Yeah, so
then they also have Tutu Atwell backing up, and they have Van Jefferson too. Yeah, this is a good wide receiver squad.
Yeah.
And then running backs. Oh my God, Cam Akers and Darrell Henderson. Both two guys are dogs. Wow.
They're both injured a lot though too. So yeah,
they are both injured a lot.
But
that is true.
Yeah, but Rams 11-6 this season. I definitely have them winning the division. But then the rest of the division, I had them losing records. So it is kind of weird that we are so opposite on these two, on this division, because last year, I believe we had everybody in the NFC West getting like 10 plus wins, right? And they were pretty close except for the Seahawks. So if there could be a surprise team in this division wide that could just like blow everything out of the water, besides the Rams, who can surprise you and win this division?
The Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals. That one's easy for me because like they just have so much firepower. Their offense is so explosive, but they're just so young and inexperienced that I feel like at times, even in their coaching situation, while they have Cliff Kingsbury and he's one of the McVay guys, he's got the incredible background and all that. I get it. At times, he's still not Kyle Shanahan. He's still not McVay, so he's still learning a lot, and he still has not a long way to go. He's still got a ways to go until he's of that stature of the McVay and Kyle Shanahan type stuff. So with that being said, they got a lot of star power, and I think that this is a team that really could surprise us this year and even win 14 games. Like really, this is a good team.
Yeah,
It'll all depend on those close games if they can pull out those close games later.
That is 100% wrong. Cliff Kingsbury is a great first half of the season coach, right? First half, like 11-0, 12-0, right? He did the same thing at Oklahoma. Kyler Murray, same way. If there is a team that is going to shock everybody in this division, Wyatt, it is hands down going to be the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy G is that guy. Trey Lance isn't that guy. Deebo Samuels is going to thrive in this new offense that they got. They're going to be a very pass-happy offense. Just to have like 17 running backs and a 2017 character fullback that they overpaid for, right? But the 49ers are going to shock some people this year if they get off on the right track. Now, I do have them going 8-9 in the season, but it would not surprise me if they turn out 12-5, 13-4. That would not surprise me one bit for the San Francisco 49ers team. So, Jameson, I see you in the chat, man. Your 49ers are going to do some work probably this season if they don't go bad. I feel like it is going to be a losing season for them or a very productive season. There's no mediocre point for them. All right. Are you ready for that time of night, man?
Ready for
Weddle.
Yes, let's go. I was gonna ask if we were playing it. Let's go, dude. Did you see they have Weddle Unlimited now, to where like you don't have to like instead of just doing one a day, you can do as many as you want?
Yeah, I saw a guy on YouTube. He stole our clip. He was on there for 2 hours. He was on there for 2 hours and didn't miss one for 2 hours. He must have been on
2
easy.
hours?
He must have been on easy. That
Wow.
tool.
Yeah, probably.
Whatever. Anyway, guys, if you do not have an interview play, get off of there. Hang
right
on,
now
Wyatt.
to be able to have a guest
Hang
on with me at this time.
My thing has
retired
frozen and I
play-by-play
don't know how to get it off of it. Come on, man.
Ruh-roh.
49ers is not shocking. How is it not shocking, Drew? I had them going 8-9. That is very shocking. So my whole system just froze on me, Wyatt. So we're working good. but nothing else is working right now.
Uh-oh.
There he goes. All right, pull it up. We're back.
All right.
We're back, baby.
All right, so we're starting with Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, hang on. Explain to people what Weddle is before we get to your getaway. Man, you are so lame at this. Jeez. There are 3 things that Wyatt is good at: chasing lizards, taking dumps, and playing with his hair throughout the whole show.
Okay, so Weddle is basically like Wordle, but with NFL players. And I saw somebody say this yesterday. The best way to explain it is by playing it, and that too is like 100% true. So basically, you'll pick it up kind of as we go along, but in a nutshell, it gives you. So you type out a player, say you put Patrick Mahomes, and it'll light up with colors, or it'll light up with green if it's correct, yellow if it's within 2 units, and gray if it's like completely incorrect.
All right.
And Weddle Easy is just skill position players, and Weddle Hard Mode is any NFL player on a 53-man roster.
All right,
so
let's do it.
With that being said, we start with Patrick Mahomes per the usual.
Yeah, if you would pull up the screen and we could see it, it'd be fantastic, bro.
Oh no, I was literally just on there doing it.
They are a good team. Surprising if they lose this season. 49ers are going to have a losing season because the reason why the 49ers are going to have a losing season, Drew, is because by week, I don't know, 6, put Trey Lance in there, and Kyle Shanahan's going to bow down to the, oh, I love Trey Lance and I can't waste my first round pick, whatever. Anyways, Weddle time, Wyatt. All right, so our first choice was Patrick Mahomes. He's not on the Kansas City Chiefs. He's not in the AFC. He's not a quarterback, and he's 6'1" or 6'2".
He's either 6'2" or 6'1", yes. And he can't be, because of this, he can't be 26, 27, or 28. He's older than that. And his jersey number is lower than 15, 14, 13. So his jersey number has to be 12 or below. And he is not a quarterback. So with that being said,
he's an old receiver.
Shorter, but he's within 2. So I'm thinking probably wide receiver.
Yeah, an old receiver, huh? Tyler Lockett, baby. NFC wide receiver, older, been in the league for 8 years.
Oh, greens. Okay, so greens basically means that those are correct. So let's see. He is 29. That didn't really tell us anything over here. But we do know he's an NFC West. So
he is 16. Dang.
A Niner. He's either a. Oh no, that was a good guess though. No, it doesn't matter that he's under 16. You got us 3 greens, Buck.
Yeah, so
don't shoot down your guess like that.
So he's a Cardinal, Ram, or 49er. He is a receiver.
Dude, he's the division we just broke down.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, so he's either a 49er, a Ram, or a Cardinal, and he is a wide receiver. So let's try and narrow it down the team.
What number is DeAndre Hopkins? How long has DeAndre Hopkins been in the league?
DeAndre Hopkins has been in the league for a while, and I believe he's number 10.
Let's try that one.
Let's do DeAndre Hopkins. That's a good guess.
Bang! There we go. Bam. Too easy, baby.
Bang, bang. All right, here we go. Weddle Hard Mode. What do we start with here? I feel like now I'm just going to scroll, and I'm going to stop, and we have to pick one of these names. Okay.
Okay, do it.
Which name do we want to go with? Do we know any of these people?
It is
Jacob Eason. We were just talking about it.
But so they have been kind of doing an NFC AFC thing, so I feel like it's going to be a AFC defensive player.
Okay.
So let's pick somebody like Justin Reed, a safety for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, that should give us right in the middle.
Boom. Bang, bang. We're right up on it. Okay, so he is a safety.
Yeah.
He is
26, 27. He's short.
Let's do Jesse Bates.
And he's a AFC North, South, or East.
Yes. Jesse Bates.
There you go.
Oh, who's the other?
Cincinnati.
Let's go. Who's the other Cincinnati safety?
Shoot. That is
Von Bell.
I'm not for sure, man.
I'm pretty sure it's Von Bell.
Let me think of this Super Bowl of who got burned by Odell Beckham Jr.
Von Bell, you want to try it?
Yeah, let's try it. There it is. Oh, man. Wyatt, you are a gong among men. Hard mode and 3 guesses.
Let's go.
So
that is the fastest I've ever gotten hard mode.
So I kind of feel like it's cheating because they have been kind of going back and forth, right? Like, hey, like It's been AFC, NFC type thing, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, guys. Like Weddle, just Google it. Is there an app for it, Wyatt?
I don't think so. I don't. I've looked for it and I haven't found one, so I don't think they have one. You just literally just look up Weddle, and they have one right now where like it's not just so if you just look up Weddle, it's only one player a day. Like the Wordle is only one word a day.
Yeah.
But if you look up Weddle Unlimited, it's the same group, same people, and it's just Weddle with unlimited players, and you can choose easy or hard mode, and you can play as much as you want.
There you go, guys. That is going to be it for tonight. We broke down the NFC West tonight. Tomorrow, Wyatt, we are going to do the AFC West. So I believe